What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the Pro. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we are back with a brand new video for you guys. Listen, man, it is the day of the game that we play the Celtics in the playoffs. Game 1 of the Miami Heat's playoff season starts today, and we're gonna be here to preview it all for you guys. Listen, it's gonna be very fun this series. I cannot wait, and we are going to be getting into our official breakdown of the Heat Celtics series. Listen, I wanted to go into detail about this. Obviously I do this for every series we play. I did this last year as well. I did this for the playing games. The Celtics and the Heat have been a matchup that's been, going on for, I think, 4 out of the last 5 seasons. It's been a really fun matchup. And yeah, in this, preview, we're kind of here to, break down significant details that could be key. I want to go into detail about the injury report. I want to go into detail about the matchups, who needs to dominate, who the X factor is, and I want to go into where we can attack the Celtics, because they have a lot of stats this season that are historical. They're the 4th best net rating in NBA history, 4th best point differential, 3-point percentage, a lot of things that are like that literally like blow everyone else out the water. Like, they have stats that it's like, listen, man, that's historical stuff, and you got to give them their props for that. But it's a fresh series, so none of that really matters, at this point. All that is cool. They did that in the regular season. That's amazing, but and they're obviously going to feel great about that. But unfortunately, those stats don't carry over into the playoffs, and the series is not played on paper, and it's not played in the stat sheet. It's played on the court. So, not saying that we're going to be the favorites, because we're not. The Celtics have clearly, a lot more talent than we do on paper. But like I said, it's not played on paper. The game is not played on paper. And we're going to be here to talk about where the Heat can attack the Celtics, who I think we can take advantage of. Obviously a lot of this is going to be limited because, again, the Celtics are a really good team. They're not like the Sixers or the Bulls where they have like significant weaknesses. They have a couple that I can pinpoint, but again, it's going to be really tough to exploit them. Starting off with the injury report, we are down Jimmy Butler, we are down Terry Rozier, and we are down Josh Richardson. Obviously, Jay Rich is out for the year, but Jimmy is out for potentially the series and probably the series, and Terry Rozier is out for this game, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be out for game 2 as well, because there was a report yesterday that came out from very reputable, Miami Heat sources. I think Barry Jackson, Ira Winterman, the beat writer for the Heat, both of them kind of put it out there saying that he's week to week with that neck injury. Now, Barry Jackson even said that this might not be a career-threatening injury, and that scared me. I was like, bro, there was a chance of it being a career-threatening injury? Like, I had no idea. But that kind of puts it into perspective how serious that injury actually is, because, a neck injury you wouldn't think is that big of a deal, but from what they're saying, it seems to be so. So he's week to week right now. So I think he's going to be out for games 1 and 2. I think that's what my prediction is. He's definitely out for game 1. That's already reported. Game 2, I think he's going to miss as well. I think the soonest he could be back is game 3 at home. Because that would be like 1 week from now. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but he's going to be out for, I'm assuming maybe a couple of games of this series. I think he will play at some point, but I'm not sure when. But he's out for game 1 though. So game 1 is what we're talking about right now. He's out. And for the Celtics, the only injury they have is Luke Cornett, which is not a big deal for them because they already have Al Horford off the bench and they're fine. So Luke Cornett played a couple of spot minutes here and there this season, but he wasn't really a critical piece for them and a huge part of their rotation anyway. So they're basically fully healthy. When we get into the actual matchups and who I think is going to start, obviously the Heat are going to probably roll out the same lineup they rolled out against the Bulls: Hero, Martin, Jaquez, Jovic, Bam. That is going to be their team. And as far as the Celtics are concerned, you have Drew, Derek White, Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis. Now, this Heat team is going to have to mark their identity on the defensive end. And that's how you're going to be able to have a chance against the Celtics. You have to set the tone defensively. You can't try to outscore them, because if you do, that's when you get in trouble, because the Celtics can win shootouts against anybody. They're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league. So you have to, make sure that you make defense your priority. And Tatum and Brown are obviously extremely elite basketball players, but the thing you can't let the Celtics do is get going from three. If the Celtics shoot even an average or a good percentage from three in a game, they're probably going to win because they have so much talent across the board. And it's like you cannot let them get going from three. You cannot let them get hot from three at all. At all. It has to be a concerted effort to either run them off the three-point line or contest every three-point shot they take. The zone could be a problem in this series for the Heat because the zone is obviously, you give up threes when you play the zone against the Celtics. And for this iteration of Boston, this is their best three-point shooting team they've had since I can remember, and you need to make sure you don't help off of the wrong guy. You cannot do that because if you do that, then they will barrage you with threes. So I would much rather the Heat play one-on-one defense, and if Tatum or Brown, are able to shoot over people, and if you have to make them do that, if they're making shots, then you have to live with that. This is a series where the Heat, obviously the Heat will have to pick, do we want Tatum and Brown to get going or do we want the others to get going? And I think if you're playing the Celtics, you don't want the others to get going. You do not. You do not want Derek White to start hitting threes and Drew Holiday to hit corner threes. He has one of the best corner percentages in the league this year. You don't want Porzingis to get hot from three. You cannot leave these guys open from three, and you cannot let them establish a rhythm from the three-point line. That is their biggest key, in my opinion, is the three-point shooting of the Celtics is really what sets them apart from a lot of teams. Now, it is also one of their weaknesses because they take so many. People could almost say they live and die by the three. Kind of similar to what we did a couple of years ago in 2022. The Celtics, they take a ton of threes, man, a ton of threes, and they don't really put pressure on the rim. They don't really attack the rim. They don't really draw fouls, too many of them. And a lot of their offense is really just pass, spray until you find an open three-point shooter. That's really what their offense is predicated upon. So again, you got to run them off the line. You got to make sure you scramble, you throw different looks at them. Again, the zone, you can throw it at them sporadically because the zone, they don't really have like a playmaker to know how to break that zone. But they've played against the zone a few times, and this season the zone was not effective because of Porzingis. Porzingis was really the guy who was like, if you played the zone against the Celtics, Porzingis' ability to stretch the floor is a lot different than having, Robert Williams or whoever they had last year starting. It's different. It's different because of Porzingis, and they were able to take advantage of the fact that we were playing the zone, and Porzingis was easily able to pick and pop from that mid-range area, from the three area. So I don't think the zone will be as effective on them as it was last year or a couple of years ago. You're going to have to just get up into them, play physical with them, have them give the ball up one-on-one. So matchups, I'm thinking it's going to be, I think Jovic is going to be guarding Kristaps. I think Bam is going to be guarding Tatum. And I think either Caleb or Jaquez. I think Caleb will probably be the one to guard Jaylen Brown. I think you put Jaquez on Drew and you have Tyler on Derek White. That's what I think the matchups will be. And you need to make sure that, we can't get in foul trouble, but we have to play physical. You got to, exploit the fact that Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they don't have the best handles in the world, especially Jaylen Brown. We all know about that. He can't dribble left. So you have to make sure that you play physical, you play good one-on-one defense. If they beat you, if they make tough shots over you, they're great players. You got to live with that. But you cannot overly help. The Heat love to do this where they send help even before it's needed. Like they pre-help. That's what I like to call it. Like before the man is even beat, we're already sending 2-3 guys at him. And I'm like, bro, like what are we doing? Like that's an easy pass to make for an open shot. Like I don't want the Heat to do that. I want the Heat to trust their defenders, one-on-one defenders more. And unless somebody's getting going, which even if somebody is, like it's better one person gets going rather than 5 for the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really think that the key to beating the Celtics is to make sure that they don't get going from 3. And that's a lot easier said than done because they're a very good team. But that is the key. Then you play off of their misses. You have to be exceptional in transition. You gotta make sure you beat them down the floor for every loose ball. And I trust Spoelstra to come up with a good strategy, and I think he will come up with something good. But man, it's not gonna be easy, and especially because we're shorthanded, it's not gonna be easy. That was just the defensive end, though. As far as the offensive end is concerned, again, a lot of it is gonna have to be playing off of their misses, and a lot of them is gonna have to be exploiting mismatches. And the Celtics are a team that have good defenders across the board, but the one matchup that I feel like can be exploited is the center matchup. And I know Porzingis is a good rim protector, but I just don't think he can guard Bam. Bam is a guy that can outquick him very easily. Porzingis is 7'4", not the most mobile center. He's taller than Bam, but Bam can outquick him. And that's what I need Bam to do. I need Bam to set the tone. I think he is the key to the series. And he's always been against Boston. They haven't really had an answer to Bam ever. Since the bubble, I think it was Daniel Tice. And then last year it was Robert Williams did an okay job on him. And then you had Grant Williams, you had Horford. None of those guys, to me, can really guard Bam. And I don't really think that there's a lot of people in the league who can guard Bam. But the thing is, the only person who can stop Bam to me is Bam. If Bam doesn't want to be aggressive, we're going to have a hard time scoring. Tyler Hero is not going to have the freedom this year as he did, in years past, because he's going to have a lot more attention on him. He's virtually the only shot creator on this team from 3 levels. We don't have Rozier, we don't have Butler. So it's going to be all eyes are going to be on Tyler as far as Boston. They're going to try to throw different looks at him. They're going to pressure him. We know how Tyler deals with pressure. He doesn't deal with it too well. He doesn't deal with physicality and blitzes too well. So we're going to have to help him out. And we can't have him be the only source of offense here. That's too much to ask. Especially against a team like the Celtics who have Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. They're going to throw so many different looks at him, man. It's going to be tough for Tyler. It's not going to be easy, which means the others are going to have to step up. We're going to have to shoot good from 3 every game. We cannot shoot bad from 3. I need Caleb. I need Highsmith. I need, Jovic. I need Jaquez. And yeah, that's the key to me. I think it has to be Bam and it has to be Jaime. Both of them are going to have to be the key offensively if Tyler, is struggling with the defense of the Celtics, because they're going to focus all their attention on Tyler, which means Bam is going to have to step up. He's going to have to be aggressive, and so will Jaime. Jaime's going to have to kind of play like how Jimmy plays for us here and there, kind of play like a Walmart version of him. So that's the key. That is the key. Now, all of this that I said, is it easier said than done? Yes. Celtics are an extremely good team. They will not just let you do all these things because they're a very good team. I do feel like on paper they have a significant advantage, but if the Heat can get them to shoot poorly from 3-4 games in the series, and at the same time can have Bama be aggressive those 4 games, the same 4 games, I think they'll win the series. If those happen. If those don't happen, we don't have a chance, because the Celtics are just so much more talented on paper. Like, it's going to be tough to beat them if not, most or all of these things go right. We need a lot of these things to go in our favor to beat this team. I'm a Heat fan, but I'm not stupid. Like, I understand what we're up against. I understand the fact that we are so shorthanded that we need a lot of things to go very close to perfect. Now, if we steal one on the road in one of these 2 games, I feel like we can have, a mental edge over them. And I feel like one of the reasons the Heat are always able to beat the Celtics, in the playoffs, is because of the fact that they have this mental edge over them always, which comes from the coaching, which comes from the mindset of the players. The Celtics usually seem to play down to their competition. And yeah, it's just something that if you get the Celtics to, kind of doubt themselves after winning a game or 2 on their home floor, then you can kind of have the mental edge over on the series. But that's something you'll have to, do. You'll have to win one of these 2 games. I think winning one of these 2 games is super important. You cannot lose 2 on the road, because they're probably going to win 1 at home. So we are going to have to, win one of these 2, game 1 or 2. And the last thing that I wanted to say was the clutch offense of the Celtics is, a lot of isolation ball and Tatum sidestepping for 3. It's not really, They move the ball a lot in the first 3 quarters, but when it comes to the fourth quarter, it's a lot of standing around for them. It's a lot of isolation shots. And they're good at it because Tatum's a really good player. But, if you can get Tatum and Brown to take those tough shots throughout the course of the game, then you will give yourself a very good chance of winning, because their clutch offense is not great because of the fact that they take so many tough threes and they don't really get anything going to the basket. They don't really get anything going as far as sets and pick and rolls and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's always let's go Heat for me. We have to see, what the Heat will do, the adjustments by Spoelstra, the lineups, the minutes, the rotations. I cannot wait. I'm super excited for this game. Playoff basketball is a staple in this franchise, and we need it to continue. So, just being in the playoffs, I'm happy about. But I want to win the series, and I think if all of these go in our favor, we can. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Get your predictions down below, man. I'll see you later as always. Peace.